Welcome to Paul Champlina's Talking Property channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, lifetime stories and property. I have the godfather of rave in the house, the legend, the one and only Matthew Nelson, aka Slipmatt.
Hey,
how are you, mate?
Paul. Yeah.
Lovely to see you.
Good. All good.
I'm so excited that you're here. I told you, I first heard you DJing in 1990-91, and you've always been my favourite DJ.
I didn't think you were that old, actually.
Thank you.
You're not as old as me.
No, well, yeah.
No,
They say you're as old as the woman you feel, but we're not going to go there, all right? But it's an honour that you're here, and we've become mates, and it's like it's even better that we're even mates. So
it's an honour for me to be as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a bit of a legend.
No, thank you, mate. I really, really appreciate the time coming out. So this interview is just about your life story, about being at the top of your game and what it means to actually, I suppose, at the end of the day, you're doing something you love, which is music.
Yeah. Which is why I'm still doing it. Well, I've been doing it for, 36 years now.
36 years. You started with rain dance, didn't you?
89.
89.
Slipmatt since 89.
Slips absolutely. My first ever, I was 16. I first went raving in 1987. I was 16 years. I went to the Savannah Club in Brighton. And I just loved the music. That was acid house. But yeah, then I started hearing you and so forth. So tell me how you got into becoming an international DJ producer.
So, I mean, it all started when I was 18 months old, actually.
18 months old?
Which sounds funny, but
yeah,
that's when I started playing records. My mum has always said, no, you was 18 months old, crawling around all over the pod, maybe just started to walk. And you say, mum, records. This was like,
wow.
So end of the 60s, probably like 1969 or something, which is showing my age.
Wow.
And we used to have one of these old mono box record players with a lid. And I was just fascinated with it, and my mum and dad had loads of records and stuff knocking around. And I just used to want to go and put the record on, push the thing, and it'd go down and play. So yeah, from a very early age, but then I went on to buy my first record when I was 4 years old. Do
you remember what it was?
It was Jack in a Box, Cloder Rogers, which is quite embarrassing, really, but not, I suppose.
I find
for a 4-year-old.
I find it remarkable that you can actually remember after being a rave DJ for 35 years. Your first record.
I did actually go back and look it up. I've still got it. It's still got it somewhere. Yeah. And then my dad got a stereo, and I just sort of took over the family stereo and stuff.
Were they into music? Your parents?
They were, but not like I am.
Yeah,
they were just fans of, they're like the Beatles.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff. And it just carried on. My sister's boyfriend's dad turned into my brother-in-law's dad. Sorry, my brother-in-law's brother-in-law actually was a mobile DJ. So back in the mid to late 70s. Wow. I'd go out with him every now and again and do weddings and bits and pieces. Then it was a school disco. I played my first school party when I was 10.
Wow.
Actually took my record player in, and my dad's record player, into school, plugged it into their speaker with a load of records and did that. And then played my first senior school disco, I think 14. Then left school at 16. Ended up playing a few bars and bits and pieces, which then led up to 86. House music was it sort of invented, late 85, 86. Got into house music by 89. My brother started rain dance, and then bosh.
Went to many a rain dance in my time.
Yeah, that's where sort of,
and it just blew.
Slipmatt was born. Yeah.
Slipmatt, and it was born. And then, of course, how did you start the iconic group SL2? How did that come about?
Yeah, so actually before rain dance, I can't remember back properly. I think we had a tune cover. We made a tune together. It was me and Lime, John. We went to school together. We knew each other from like 12 years old. We were the two in the class that used to bring tapes in and talk about music. And he was very much into the electro. I was into the
break dance
stuff. Yeah.
I used to go on and do a head spin. That's all I could do. I couldn't do it now. I'd break my back.
We were just geeky about music, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
And then from being out clubbing, we bought a drum machine and stuff. And then by early 89, which was before rain dance even started, what I was thinking, it could have actually been late 88 we started it.
Sunrise, 88.
Yeah. But We made our first tune was an acid house tune, sampled a bit of Todd Terry and a bit of Chicago stuff. And that was the start. That was the start of that. So yeah, early '89, and then we went on to got ripped off for that actually. Well, we didn't get paid for it, so we went on to start our own label. End of 1990, did a couple of white labels, and then we got picked up by. Long story short, we got picked up by XL Recordings.
Massive at the time.
Who would also sign Prodigy.
Yeah.
And some
Love
other big
Prodigy.
names, and then Wallop. Yeah, we got catapulted.
Ragga Tip.
1991 with DJs Take Control.
And that was
Catapulted into the charts.
Yeah, way into my brain.
In October '91, we did Top of the Pops, and we did Dance Energy up in Manchester.
Tell me about Top of the Pops. Wow. What was that like?
It's amazing. It's made not far from here, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was just amazing. You know, from growing up, sitting there Thursday night, a cup of tea and a biscuit.
It was iconic. Then. No internet, so it was all about Top of the Pops, wasn't it?
Yeah. Music was about pop music and and then it's really exciting.
Was it done live or pre-recorded?
It was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
But an occasional dance tune would get on top.
Yeah. Remember it. Right, wow. Remember it.
And then all of a sudden we was on there. It was like surreal. It was absolutely mental. And we went on to meet all these famous people. Kylie Minogue. Kiss off the cheek off of Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
While I was there, we saw Phil Collins. Just all these different people.
It really takes you to another level.
It's also at the. It was also at the same place where they film EastEnders.
Yeah, it's right literally down the road.
Yeah. So we got to meet all the EastEnders. I sat and had lunch with Doc Cotton.
Did you?
And Pete Bill.
Yeah. It's funny actually you say that. So the hotel on the corner, which is the Doubletree, it used to be Holiday Inn. Yeah. And it used to have. I used to go to the club because obviously, I used to live down the road. And I went in the steam room, and Mike Reid was in there. And
wow!
And he's got the most distinctive voice. So I'm in there. It's hot in here, isn't it? And I was like, it's Mike Reid.
I remember him walking through. Actually, he was in the canteen at EastEnders. I didn't get to say hello to him, which is a shame. But I remember seeing him walk through. Yeah.
So tell me about obviously your iconic tune on a Ragga Tip. Right. How that blew up. It came to number 2 in the charts, Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
Still playing now. It's on every advert. Tell us how that came back, because that really that took you to another level, didn't it?
So our first big show was DJs Take Control, and then Wham of Brain was the flip side.
The other
so
side.
we did a track called Changing Tracks, and then the flip side that was meant to be the A side, and the flip side was going to be on a Ragga Tip, which is another reggae-based tune. And then, anyway, so we did the 2 tracks. We took them to XL. And then me and John were listening to them. Me and Lime were listening to them for a couple of days. And Lime said to me, he goes, Matt, he said, I think the On a Ragga Tip is much better than the one we sort of made for the A-side, which was more sort of Chicago-y sounding. And then, I had to think about that, and we agreed, and we was like, there's something about that tune.
Brilliant.
So we went straight back to XL, was like, look, Nick Hawkes, who was running the A&R down there, and he's like, And then after another couple of days, he's like, I think you're right. We went for it. It was quite, it was very, although it was a rave tune, it was different from what was
so different. What was I remember hearing it. It was just
so unique.
It was just, and it's timeless.
Because it's so neat. It wasn't the same as everything else. So we sort of took a little bit of a risk with it, I suppose, and it paid off.
You don't have a go, you don't know.
Never know.
That's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now all the adverts, all the big companies, you've had Adidas, you've had McDonald's and Paddy Power, all these big companies have picked it up and they license it from you.
First Direct Bank, Virgin Media. We've just done a license with another big crisp company.
Right, okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. And tell me, and we're coming to slip back in time further down the line, and for old school ravers like myself and whatever, and the work you do, tell me about do you still get the same buzz 35 years later now, DJing, albeit maybe to an older crinkly crowd,
Yeah,
right?
totally, yeah.
And do you still feel that same energy? And and you are one of the most hard-working DJs. You might have 6 gigs over a bank holiday weekend, and you love going up and whatever. And I like the fact that you're so humble with it, which is great. But do you still get that real passion and that drive?
No, I do. Yeah, it never goes away. It never goes away. I miss it madly if I ever stopped, which I won't stop unless I really have to. But
What's the biggest buzz though, Matt?
The driving and stuff. Yeah, it's gets knackering. It's a bit like, I really got to drive up there tonight. But but I see through all that. That's nothing. The buzz. It's just nice. It's just lovely seeing the people's faces. People enjoying themselves.
But look, you're performing, right? Is it like, because obviously when you're not a DJ and you love the music, is it like when you want to take them on a journey and you've got the crowd in the putty of your hand, and it's just like is that how it feels?
Sort of.
Yeah.
But it's always, I always find it a bit of a challenge. So I'm forever every single gig I'll tweak my playlist.
Yeah. You won't get complacent.
Add new tunes. Never ever get complacent.
No, correct.
I find every set, even if you think, oh right, it's the same as that's going to be the same as that gig there. It's never exactly the same. It's always a bit of a challenge. So I'm always prepared, and it's always
You're professional.
It's always something you can do at that moment to to counteract what's going on the dance floor.
It's mad because you're doing something you absolutely love, and you're still doing it 35 years later. I bet you just can't believe it. I mean, do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no, it's lucky. Yeah, he's very. I often say it's like I haven't had to work since 89 really, or 91. I gave up work properly, but it's like I've really. Although I work hard and I put a lot into it, I don't see it as. Well, I hate calling it work. You know what I mean?
But you're bringing so much joy and happiness to people that when they go out raving, I mean, back in the day, you used to live Friday and Saturdays and whatever, and you have the day raves now, so you've got the older people that's kids have grown up, and what you're doing is those people will switch off and you're entertaining them, aren't you? Yeah.
I mean, entertainment's always nice, isn't it?
It
if you make your people happy, every now and again you get a moaner in front of you. Fuck you. He don't open that often.
Can you take that on?
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time, when you get someone moaning, you look around and everybody else is like happy.
Yeah, of course.
And you think, oh.
You can't keep everyone happy.
No.
You can't keep everyone happy. So tell me about, obviously, you're playing at you play at all the big festivals. Tell me the first time you went to Ibiza, and tell me about, some of the best experience you had in Ibiza, and then we can talk about
the very first time I went there was 1994. It was quite late actually. Yeah. All of my mates went over in 1990.
I went about that time. Yeah.
Lime went, and a few of my other DJs. Well, most of my mates were DJs.
Yeah.
Even if it was just a few. But they went in 1990 and played at Summon for Black and White and
Tommy Mac.
Like that, with Tommy Mac. Yeah.
God rest his soul.
But I went in, so I was a bit late. 1994, got booked to play at a club called Chaos, which is now Eden.
Yeah.
That was quite a hardcore thing. 94, I was playing a lot of sort of quite tough hardcore. Then went back, I think I went back again in 95. I think that might have been for United Dance with Chris Brown and co. And then 1996, I managed to, I had Eddie Locke, DJ Eddie Locke. I don't know if some of your people will know Eddie Locke. He's a very famous DJ back in the day.
Yeah.
And he booked me for a thing called Sundance, which was linked in with the 1830s.
Yeah.
What was the Zoo? It's called something else now.
Yeah.
558 or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Played there in 96, open air. It was actually an evening party. It started at 6 and finished at midnight, which is sort of like what's happening these days.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. 3,000 or 4,000 people, all 1830s, but all like quite switched on with the music and stuff. And then that was every other week. So I started doing that, and then managed to get another gig. I think I did 2 in 96, and then not by 97 I was there
How many times have you been to Ibiza?
Hundreds.
You can't work it out?
No.
Go on, a rough guess.
Probably 300.
Wow, 300 times. That is mental.
A couple of years I was going back twice a week. Where I was so busy at home as well.
Yeah.
I'd go out on a Thursday and then do my weekends work, and then go back out on the Monday, and then come back and then go back on. It's just like,
people don't understand. So I mean, obviously, my two best mates are DJs, as you know, Andrew Gillere and Aston Harvey from the Freestylers. You know, best men at my moment. They're my best mates. So I've grown. And
very well.
You know him very well. And I did club promoting as well.
Just quickly, Aston was at the studio where we did our first tune.
Really?
Cross in 1989. He had just started there.
Yeah.
Just as
and he worked with Rebel MC.
Yeah, of course it was their studio.
And that was their studio. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's mental how it... And those guys, and you're all still doing it. And I love the fact that, you know, my best mates are still in music and they're doing their dream.
Still hanging in there.
They're still hanging in there, which is this is quite incredible. So tell me... tell me about Slip Back in Time. So I've been a couple of times. It's just amazing. Tell me how that started, and because obviously I did promoting in the 90s. I promoted a club called Belugas. I organised the cabs at Bagley's when the Cross was there, and with my friend Debbie Lee and stuff like that. Promoting is really, really tough.
I'm not a fan of promoting. I've dipped my toe in a few times. I don't know. Get into that promoter world.
It's stressful, isn't it?
And everyone's attitude seems to change, and it's not like DJing at all.
No.
It's like, so it's sort of a natural sort of dip my toe in, see, you know, to when you get an idea or whatever.
I know.
But I'm not a fan of actual promoting. But it's always been a little bit of a thing to sort of want to do like a weekly.
You built a brand up though.
Yeah, a whole week sort of event, which is all I do really. I don't do any other.
And when did that start? And tell us about it now.
So it started. Someone approached me back in 2013 to get involved in an old school event in Ibiza. I won't go too much into that because it didn't turn out very good. Very good in the end.
Right.
Got involved with them, helped them out, and it worked. It sort of worked for a couple of years, and then we decided it got to a point where they couldn't carry on their own. So myself and Terry, my business partner, we said, all right, we'll sort of partner them up and see if we can get working. Straight away, again, it didn't work. They sort of went missing most of the time, and
it's hard work.
And the whole relationship fell apart straight away. So, not going to dwell on that.
Yeah, of course.
But out of that, we thought, well, we're not going to just shut everything down. I'd been doing Slip Back in Time parties for many years. The name sort of come from it was 2000. I was doing a club called Nightlife at the bottom of the West End and other little things, and we just used to call it, Slip Back in Time, Slipmatt, he's coming.
Cool.
We're going to slip back in time. I was playing old school then.
Yeah.
But that's where the name come from, 25 years ago.
Mental, isn't it? And 25 years. And that's the year I set my landlord action up. 25 years. Where's it gone?
Yeah. Oh,
mad, isn't it?
Oh, don't. So we used the name Slip Back. Thought, well, it's got to be Slip Back in Time. It's an old school event. Slip Back in Time, old school Ibiza. That was 2019. We did our own one, and we're now in 2025 . We're pretty much sold out.
So, and you have how many people go over?
We've got 600 books on for our hotels. And we're pretty much full up. There's a couple of tiny little gaps, but.
It is, and it can be a bit full on, but people can go for 3, 4, 7 days or whatever.
Yeah, that's why we get a few little gaps here and there. Some people come for 4 days or 3 days.
But it's a great event, and I highly recommend it. It's really good. Everyone's really friendly. There's no attitude or anything like that.
Yeah, the sort of concept of it is that we've got our two, as you know, we've got our 2 hotels that are joined.
Yeah,
they share the same restaurant and bars and everything.
It's all inclusive.
It's all inclusive. So everyone's all together for the whole week, or however long they're there. So it sort of creates a real sort of family sort of feel.
But you know what? I loved it, and I think it is a family feel. And the only thing with Ibiza, I feel like, I don't want to be crude, I feel like you get your pants pulled down in Ibiza.
Yeah.
You buy a drink, it costs 15, 20 euros, everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
And I think part of Ibiza has really lost its soul, because I went 94, 95, but you still recreate that old vibe.
This is
and the value for money, and it really gives, and that's the only reason I went back to Ibiza because of your event.
I totally get it. You know, in the 90s, end of the 90s, and even through the noughties, it was so carefree and relaxed and all that during the day and everything. And it's always been expensive, but you sort of get what you pay for in a way. I think these days it does take the piss a bit, you know,
Yeah.
some of the prices.
Oh, it's shocking. And it gets really pretentious. You go to your Shire and it's just like,
Yeah, I'm not.
It's not for me.
I'm not down with that
Yeah,
VIP.
yeah,
sort of
I'm not
culture.
into all that.
But what we've done.
So I'm going to ministry on Saturday. You're
right.
playing.
Oh, right, yeah.
The Peach.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
It's a day event. I'm there for 3 hours. Thank you very much. Go home and go have an early night.
But yeah, so yeah, the good thing about what we do, it's all inclusive, so you're not spending any money during the day, and we just keep. You just don't need, because it's all inclusive. You don't need to go out there with like $2,000 in cash.
No, and you'd end up don't do it.
You get entry to all the clubs as well.
Yeah, it's good value.
Yeah, most people tank up before they leave the hotel.
I know it's all good, but it is really good. Just I've got a few more questions for you because I could talk to you all day, all night. Give me some of what's your best ever gig you've ever played at, and what's the worst ever gig? And there's been a lot of gigs.
There's a couple that stand out actually.
Yeah.
So one of the best ones I always say is I did Prodigy.
I knew you were going to say that.
2013.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
And you played just before them.
I've had some great gigs at Space in Ibiza as well.
Iconic.
Some brilliant ones in Australia. But that always stands out because I know Prodigy in that anyway.
Yeah, they're top guys.
I came on like probably 30 seconds after they'd finished at the O2.
Wow, that is just
going on 20,000 people in there, and then just did an hour set to finish off the night. That was good. Me and JJ actually. SL2 as well.
The high that you get is you can't beat that adrenaline, can you?
Yeah, no, it's good. I actually recorded it. It's on my SoundCloud. It's got like well over 500,000 plays.
I've got to listen to that. I've got to listen to that. Worst ever gig and why?
I mean, there's loads. Obviously, things go tits up.
Yeah.
So there's lots of gigs where you end up like one person, like miles away. We did one up in Hartlepool back in '92. It's an SL2 PA actually.
Yeah.
And we got there and we found out the geezer that was running it was a counsellor.
Right.
He just got this idea that I can put a rave on, and he'd photocopied flyers with like just stuff that made no sense to us.
And no one pitched
the
up.
Kids or whatever.
Yeah.
There's about 10 people in there, I think. And
did you get paid?
And he had the audacity to try and knock us as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hardly.
I know. That's the problem in your industry, because also there's that murky world of you getting knocked, and you know.
But I'd say, not the worst, but one of the standout ones that totally failed. We went to Mexico, so we flew to LA. This is another SL2 one. I was DJing as well. We flew to LA. We did a 10-hour drive in this camper van thing with this driver. He's a right old hippie, smoking joints and all that all the way down there. He'd run out of money, so we went into this is like a proper gig as well.
Yeah.
He stopped at, I don't know if it was on the way down there. I think it was on the way down there. We were running out of juice as well. He had no money. He had to leave his watch with the petrol garage. God knows how he persuaded them to do it.
To get you to the gig.
To get us to the gig, he must have got some more money when he got there. Got to the gig, and it was basically 15 people in there rattling around. It was in a big top, huge,
went all the way
Mexico.
there.
It wasn't just us. There was like Inner City were there with Kevin Saunders, all these huge acts. I don't know what happened.
It tanked.
And then we basically had about 2 or 3 hours there, and had to drive back.
Oh my God.
To then fly back to go to Raindars. But this is the bit.
Yeah.
So on the way back, we got to the American border, and we got searched, and they found a fag packet with I think it had about 6 or 8 rolled up joints.
Yeah.
In it. So we all got nicked. It's like hands against the wall.
Oh right.
Patted down and everything, and they basically said, right, you've got to give us $500 to get yourself out of it. So Lime had a
card.
A party card.
Yeah, stuck it on the card.
And they actually let him out to go and get some money.
Right.
And then come back bail us out.
And he did come back for you.
He came back, yeah. Thank God.
So well, some memories. So just a couple more questions. So what's your hobbies? I mean, you've got a grandson, you're a granddad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do a lot of babysitting, don't you? You've got a lovely Mrs. Rachel. Keeps you grounded.
Rachel's nana, yeah, no, it's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. He loves his nana as well. Yeah. But, it's lovely.
Is it because you can give them back?
I think so. I've got two.
I know you've got
three kids myself.
Yeah.
But, two and a step.
Yeah.
But it is nice being able to give them back.
Yeah.
Especially when you're my age.
Yeah. There's no sleep deprivation. It's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you an interesting fact. I want to know if you know this.
Okay.
I've done a bit of research, right? Did you know there was a breakcord artist called Shipmate?
Yes.
You do?
I do actually.
I looked it up and I thought, I'm going to tell him that there's a DJ or an artist called Shipmate.
Yeah. He actually ended up on the same lineup as me.
You're joking?
Once. No.
Shipmate and Slipmatt.
And I said something. I was like, hold on a minute. And it was a little bit of a piss take out of me. He said that it was doing it out of respect.
Oh right, yeah. But when you've got the name Shipmate, that's piss there.
But at the same time, it's like you're sort of running off the knee in a way. I get it, and I wasn't annoyed with it or anything like that. Yeah. But I was like, man, it's a bit.
What was his music like? Was it Shipmate?
He was really popular.
Oh, was it?
No, he was really popular. As far as I remember, it was like really sort of hard.
Right,
and stuff.
Okay.
And all these sort of. His social media and that was all sort of really way out stuff.
Right,
okay. The toilets and...
Yeah, no, I know. I clocked onto that, but stuff, I picked it up. I presume you knew, but I said it. So look, final question. My YouTube channel, Paul Champlain and Talking Property. I've got to ask you a property question, obviously.
Of course.
You are a landlord. Okay, how did you become a landlord? And tell us about that experience. I know, obviously, you're not the word professional, is a bit flippant, but... Why did you invest in property and become a landlord?
I've got an entrepreneurial side to me as well. So, I was looking at other things to do to invest. I didn't do a lot of investing when I was younger. That raving and DJing.
Yeah, of course.
All over the place. But yeah, so I thought, oh, well, okay, maybe property is a way in to invest in. So my friend, me and my friend, DJ Slam, actually. Some of people might know DJ Slam from back in the day. I know, I've heard of him. Declan, yeah. We were good mates, still are, and we thought, oh, right, let's have a little look into this. We can rustle up a little bit of a deposit somewhere and give it a go.
And what year was that, Matt?
That would have been, blimey, could be like 10 years ago.
Right,
now, okay. Maybe probably about 8 years ago.
Right, okay.
I think. We went on a course. I can't remember what the course was called. It was over in Brentwood.
You didn't pay loads of money to go on this course, did you?
We paid. I think we paid about £1,000. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit dubious about property courses because I'm in that education area.
We felt that it was a little bit of one of those dodgy companies.
Yeah.
I think we shared the cost and all that sort of stuff. We managed to get a deal out of them. But that sort of, it got started. And then started going around looking at properties and stuff, and eventually we bought something up in St Helens,
right,
for £35,000.
Wow!
Oh, it's knackered.
You did a refurb.
We did a refurb for, I think it cost us about 20.
Oh wow!
Got a mortgage on it. Basically, took our money back out of it, which was the strategy.
Yeah, of course, which is what you do.
And we've still got the property now. It's worth I don't know. It's got to be worth £85,000, I think, now when we're getting rent on it.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not going to make us rich. But
yeah. Okay.
We then bought another one up in Huddersfield. We were going to do the same thing.
Why were you going north? Because it was much cheaper. And did you have management companies? You went for cheap. Yeah. Okay.
We ended up flipping that one. We went to the estate agents and it was like, oh, right, that's a real good. There's a lot of people looking for those sort of places. So we flipped that, which was pretty good. And, I don't know, made 20 or 30 grand out of it, which was cool.
And would you carry on investing?
We did. We bought another one in Doncaster, which was a bit of a... We picked the wrong area. I think that's probably my fault, actually. We picked the wrong area. It turned out to be... It was okay. We didn't lose money on it. We did the same thing. We got a mortgage, managed to get our money back out.
Yeah.
But that was probably about 5 years ago, and just... crap tenants. It's in a bit of a shitty area.
Yeah.
So, and normally reflects the quality of tenants.
But you learn, don't you?
Stuff. Yeah, of course, yeah. So we sold that. We sold that last year and made it, a little bit of a profit on it. Okay. Not loads. Got a family home that we rent out as well. Okay. And a place in Spain as well.
Okay, where about in Spain?
Alawin.
Oh, right, yeah, I know.
A place in Alawin. Which is another family. The family.
Do you rent that, or that's you use that for holidays?
We do, but only privately. But we're looking at maybe doing some rentals on that, just to pay for the running costs.
But it's all about the management. It's all about having good suppliers.
Exactly. We've always used management. I wouldn't want to manage it myself.
You wouldn't have time.
Well, no, I wouldn't. No. Oh, if I weren't working, then I suppose I could.
One question I forgot to ask, it's burning in my head, sorry, and I do have to wrap up because I'm getting told we've got to get off.
That's cool.
Right?
I could talk.
I know, yeah, and so can I, right? Because we're like mates, we could just have a pint in the pub. What's the most gigs that you've ever done in a weekend that might include like a bank holiday? Ever?
I don't know, actually, on a whole weekend.
Or in a week
I've
or
done
whatever.
7 on a night before.
7 on a night?
On New Year's Eve, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
7 in one night. New Year's Eve would have been back.
That wasn't the millennial 2000 when everyone you charged a fortune.
Probably a couple of years before that, I think. When
7
was, like,
gigs?
Super busy. Yeah, so it would have been like 5 till 6, like on an early one, like early.
So what, all in London or everywhere?
This is when you could do like 120 down the M1 and not get nicked as well.
Wow, 7 gigs in one night.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it.
Not 7.
Not 7.
Not 7 in one
Not
night.
7, but you're still doing it. All I can say, Matt, thanks for coming.
I've got weekends that I'm doing 5. I think when we come back in May.
Wow.
When we come back from my break,
The bank holiday.
I've got, I think it's 6 actually, 6 gigs.
Wow. And Rachel's there by your side.
Yeah, she comes to most of it.
She's great. She's always dancing in the background. I remember during COVID, she was in the background doing.
She was more famous than me in COVID.
Oh, yeah.
She was there. She was there keeping everyone entertained.
Yeah,
in fact,
brilliant.
straight after that, wherever I used to go, where's Rachel? Where's Rachel?
She's just
we love Rachel.
Well, it was SL2, and it could be Matt and Rachel, definitely. Matt, all I can say, pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
No,
it's been
brilliant.
great.
No, brilliant.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Always a pleasure to
Thank
see
you.
you. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I hope you really enjoyed that. Lifetime stories and property. For more, please subscribe on the link below. Subscribe now to Talking Property.